Through the Door. Jodi McIsaac wrote it. She decided to self-publish the book before it was picked up by an Amazon imprint, and she's in the studio with me now. Hi, Jodi.
Hi, Doug.
Now, what made you decide to self-publish instead of going the more conventional publishing route?
Well, I looked at my skills. I have a marketing background. I felt like I was a strong writer, and it was something that I just wanted to try. Self-publishing is becoming more and more popular as an option for authors to get their books out there to readers, and so I thought that I would give it a try and see how it went.
So you have a marketing background, and you figured you could do it on your own. What are the disadvantages of trying to do that?
It takes a lot of time. There's a lot of upkeep with social media and blogging, press releases, all the things that you have to do in order to properly market a book. It's a lot of work, and it doesn't leave a whole lot of time for writing.
Any consideration to the stigma that in some cases, in a lot of cases, is unfair that has been attached to self-published books?
Well, that was one of my concerns when I first was thinking about self-publishing. It's always been thought that, well, if you can't get a publisher, then you'll self-publish. But I think that, definitely in the last 5 years, there's been a huge change there. There's, no stigma really anymore to self-publishing because so many people are doing it and doing it well. And even authors who have traditionally published before are now moving into the self-publishing arena.
Every good writer needs a great editor. Who edited your book?
Well, the first time around when I self-published it, my mom did. And
how did that go?
It was fine. She edited out all the swear words.
What did it mean for you to have the Amazon imprint pick up the book and then decide to publish it?
It was really huge, actually, for me to get that call from them. They said that they had read it, that they loved it, and they'd really like to partner with me in bringing it to a broader audience than what I could reach on my own. They also bought the next 2 books in the series, so there's going to be some continuity there. The next one comes out in December, so it's been a really great experience working with them so far.
We've seen some Canadian publishers go under in recent years. What do you think this says about the way the publishing industry is changing?
Well, I just think it's changing hugely. I mean, every week there's some new announcement about a merger or a closure or some new innovation. And honestly, it's really hard to keep up with it all. But I think that in the end, it's still good for readers and it's good for writers. There are just more options for everyone now. For
people who aren't familiar with the book, Through the Door, tell us about it. What's the plot?
Hey, it's an urban fantasy and it's based on Celtic mythology. So the protagonist is a 30-something-year-old single mom named Cedar, and she has a 6-year-old daughter who all of a sudden discovers she has the ability to open these portals to other places just by opening a door. This sends Cedar looking for the girl's father. She finds out that he is more than she thought he was. He's a member of the Tuatha De Danann, which is the Celtic deities. And then Eden gets kidnapped and is being used as a pawn in this civil war between the Celtic gods. And so the rest of the story is this kind of chase adventure. It's very fast-paced. It's a page-turner. People tell me they can't put it down. How did you become a writer? What's your background? I've worked in communications and marketing. I write fundraising letters. That's my day job. I've worked in communications for nonprofit organizations for a long time. I've always been a writer. This is just my first work of fiction. It's your first work of fiction, and most people struggle for years to try and sell something, and it's become a bestseller. I mean, how many copies? You're selling like 1,500 copies a day now, aren't you? Yes. Just in the last week alone? That's right, yeah. What's this experience been like for you? It's been really surreal. It's been very overwhelming. When I first wrote this novel, I honestly felt like it was going to be my practice novel and that it would never really see the light of day. And to see it come this far has been just really amazing. Why science fiction or fantasy? I think that people need a little bit more magic in their lives. It's really popular right now. And when I wrote it, I was just thinking about my own life, in my 30s, at home with the kids. Things are a little dull, and I always found myself wishing I could be in some wonderful, magical place, and so I just wrote that story instead. How old are your kids? I have a 5-year-old and a 7-year-old, both girls. Okay, so you have 2 kids, you have a full-time job, and you found time to write a book. How did that happen? I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and I write for 2 hours before my kids get up. And then once a month, my husband is very gracious and watches the kids while I go away for the whole weekend to write. And how long did it take you to write this book? This book took 2 years. The sequel took 4 months.
Wow, 4 months. I mean, this sounds like J.K. Rowling. Do you have all of these ideas in your head? Because now it's become a series, of course. Where do you see this going?
Well, when I first wrote it, I didn't intend for it to be a series. I kind of had it in the back of my mind that that was a possibility, but I didn't have anything planned. When I signed the contract with 47 North, they said they wanted the next 2 books in the series, just assuming it would be a series. So then I had to scramble and create some ideas. But honestly, I've got more ideas than I could possibly ever write, so it's not a problem.
How would you describe your writing style?
I think that it's very accessible. It's descriptive, it's fluid, it's fast. It's an easy read, but a very enjoyable one, from what people tell me.
Whenever I hear about series like this and books like this, I immediately think movie options. What about that prospect?
I would be very open to that if you know of anybody. Nothing's come up with that yet,
Right.
but again, I've heard a lot of people say this would make a great movie.
Do you ever see yourself quitting your day job, or are you still holding on to that just in case? Because most authors, they're always nervous about the next sale and all of those kind of things.
It's funny because one of my biggest clients asked me about that today. And I think that I will still hold on to it for a while because publishing is so unpredictable. And I'd like to have that in my back pocket.
Well, Jodi, congratulations. Thank you so much for coming in. That's Jodi McIsaac. She's the author of Through the Door, now published by the Amazon publishing imprint 47 North. She'll be signing copies of the book at the Chinook Center chapters from 11 until 5 tomorrow. And we have a signed copy to give away right now to one of our lucky listeners. And all you have to do to win it is call us at 403-521-6200. That's 403-521-6200. Well, some local runners are offended by a run that